We are ready for baseball here this afternoon. And the first pitch of the ball game is a strike to Dustin Pedroia. Red Sox and Tigers winding up this 3-game series. Boston has won the first 2. Pedroia batting at .327. The 0-1 from Willis is a check swing roller foul. 0-2 on Pedroia.
Yeah, since Terry Francona, the manager of the Boston Red Sox, put Pedroia back in that leadoff spot in Toronto, and they have won 3 consecutive games. He's their catalyst.
Dontrell came out early today. He was raring to go. And he's ahead in the count 0-2. And here's the pitch. It'll be Pedroia, Drew, and Youkilis here in the first inning for Boston. Dontrell trying to get back on track after a bit of a rocky start in his last one. He gave up 7 runs in 5 innings. But his 2 previous starts were really good. So I know Rick Knapp is hoping that Willis will get back to that form. And again, the 0-2 pitch. Rolled foul.
This will be Dontrell's biggest test since coming off the disabled list. Obviously, this Boston Red Sox team, they take a lot of pitches. They make you throw strikes. They usually have themselves in real good hitters counts. And that's why they're one of the elite baseball teams as we speak in the major leagues.
Willis missing outside. Red Sox coming into play at 31-22. And the Tigers at 28-23.
Pedroia, awfully tough to strike out. Only strikes out once every 16 at bats, which is in the top 1 or 2 in the American League.
Roll to the shortstop. Easy play there for Everett. And Pedroia is out of there. 1 gone. The rest of that lineup for the Red Sox: Pedroia, followed by Drew and Youkilis. They have Jason Bay cleaning up. Mike Lowell is at third. Rocco Baldelli gets the starting right today. And their bottom 3 is Ellsbury, Lugo, and Kataris. 1 through 9. That's how they line them up. A couple of changes today for the Red Sox. Here is J.D. Drew now with 1 out. Drew, the designated hitter here this afternoon. He looks at a strike.
So far so good for D-Train. First couple of hitters. First pitch strikes. No doubt Boston will come out taking a few pitches just to see which Dontrell shows up this afternoon. Good pitch.
0-2.
Good pitch. Looked like a little change piece at 81 miles an hour. Nice little sinking action, a little fading action down and in. Nice pitch.
Dean Sardina behind the plate today, down to scoop that one up. 1 ball and 2 strikes on J.D. Drew as Gerald Laird gets the day off.
That changeup is a pitch that Dontrell did not throw a whole lot of his last start against the Baltimore Orioles, and therefore they hit him around pretty good. It's good to see him break that pitch out here in the first inning, and to a left-handed batter.
Wave and a miss. Down he goes. Drew is retired on strikes. First strikeout of the ball game now for Dontrell Willis. Here's the Dodge scouting report on the lefty.
Quality strikes, and he's already thrown a couple. I pointed out the fact that he's gotten ahead of the first 2 hitters in this ball game from the Boston Red Sox. I'm going to give him a mulligan on his last start of the 7 runs, the 10 hits you talked about over 5 innings against Baltimore, who was awfully hot. And he does a nice job against Jason Bay, their cleanup hitter. Jason has struck out 7 times against Dontrell in 19 ABs.
Here's Kevin Youkilis with 2 outs. Mulligan, that's a golf term, right?
It is. Yeah. I usually buy a lot of those when I go play in charity events. They let you buy those, which means
really,
if you have a bad shot, you can use one of your mulligans. So I buy as many as they let me.
So is that like a do-over?
It's a do-over.
Okay. Now, how many are you allowed to purchase?
Well, some people let you get 3. Some say 6. I always get the maximum, though. And it always goes to charity, so it's a good thing.
18 would be nice. 1-1 on Youkilis. He is batting .365. A 1-2-3 inning for Willis here would be nice. Get him off to a quick start. Dontrell at 1-2 with a 5.56 earned run average. Of course, his best start was that shutout performance through 6 1/3 against Texas in a victory. There's a strike on the outer edge. 2-2 on Youkilis. 2 out of 6 in the series. Couple of RBIs. His on base percentage at the best in all of baseball. It is at .482.
He's a good player. He's a really good player.
Ground ball to the shortstop. Should be a routine play, and it is in a 1-2-3 inning for Willis. Red Sox go in order. Here come the Tigers. Cleat Thomas leads it off in right field, followed by Santiago at second base. Maglio DHing today. Cabrera cleans up. Then you've got Granderson, Inge, Rayburn, Everett, and Sardina. That is the starting 9 for Jim Leland's ball club today as Cleat Thomas digs in against the knuckleballing Tim Wakefield. Thomas at .258, hitless in the series, and he looks at a strike. Cleat with 3 home runs, scored a couple of runs in this set, and the knuckler floats outside. 1 ball and 1 strike. Wakefield, 42 years old, out of Melbourne, Florida. Another knuckleball looped in the air toward left field, and Jason Bay is over there. 1 out. Bernstein advantage brings you the scouting report on Wakefield. Get the Bernstein advantage. We go to bat for you.
He's a senior citizen on the Boston Red Sox ball club. He's been with them for 15 straight seasons, but he has not pitched very well on the road this year. 2-3 with an earned run average over 5.5. And here at Comerica Park, it has been the house of pain for Wakefield. His earned run average is over 10 in 10 appearances.
Yikes. Well, here is Santiago. Santiago batting .296. 0 for his last 12. Trying to get the bat going again. Slaps this one in the air to left. Jason Bay will handle another opportunity, and there are 2 gone.
Take a look at the defense behind Wakefield. You've got Bay, you've got Ellsbury, you got Baldelli in the outfield. They got a lot of speed in center and right field with those 2 guys. You've got Lowell, then you got Lugo making his first start of the series. Pedroia, Euclid on the right side, and Kataris is the catcher today, not the captain, Jason Verite.
There's Maglio Ordonez.
Expect Wakefield to have a pretty good knuckleball today. A lot of times when you have the wind blowing in your face a little bit as a knuckleballer, that ball dances a little bit more, and it appears he's got a little wind in his face today. Maglio usually has like a softball swing against Wakefield where he stands up straight and his feet are real close together, but he looks like he's on a mission today. He's kind of dialed in.
In the air to right field. Moving in on it, Baldelli, and 3 fly ball outs for Wakefield. Each side goes 1, 2, 3, and we go to the second. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank, standing the test of time since 1849. Your Motor City Dodge dealers. And by Arby's Bacon Cheddar Roast Burger Sandwich. Try it today. It'll have you saying, I'm thinking Arby's.
Let's take a look at the defense behind Dontrell Willis. You got Rayburn, you got Granderson, you got Thomas in the outfield, Inge, Everett, Santiago, Cabrera in the infield, Sardina behind the plate. You know that Willis is on the mound, and of course, that is always brought to you by Chrysler and Jeep Superstores.
So Dontrell back to the hill after a 1-2-3 first. He will face Jason Bay, Mike Lowell, and Rocco Baldelli.
Throwing lots of strikes today. It's a good thing.
Good sign. The 0-1.
But then again, he threw a lot of strikes in Baltimore too, and they were hitting him around a little bit. So I'd like to see Dontrell establish that inside corner every now and then, and just to give the right-handers something else to think about, so they're not diving out over the plate all afternoon long.
Jason Bay has homered in this series. He is 2 out of 9 with a couple of RBIs.
Jason Bay, I heard him talking to Ryan Field yesterday during the pregame show, and he was talking about what a blessing it is to go from the Pittsburgh Pirates to the Boston Red Sox, where you know when you go to spring training you have a legitimate chance of winning a world championship.
The 1-2 is swung on and missed, and Willis gets his second strikeout. 4 up, 4 down here against Boston early on. Willis looking strong.
Well, that was part of our pitching profile, is the fact that he kind of has had Jason Bay's number. That is now the 8th strikeout against Willis for Bay in 20 career at-bats.
Not a good matchup for Jason Bay. Here's Mike Lowell, who picked up his 1,500th career hit last night. It was a single. Lowell batting .298 with 8 home runs. Only 1 for 10 in this series, so Tigers have handled him pretty well. Fastball is up high, 2-0 the count.
And Lowell also got kicked out of last night's game, arguing balls and strikes.
Davidson umpiring third today. He was behind the plate last night, and he gave Lowell the thumb. What a defender this guy has been. In fact, he is the all-time leader among third basemen in fielding percentage, even better than Brooks Robinson. The 3-0 is outside. Willis issues his first walk. 1 on and 1 out. Dontrell had 2 walks in his last start in that ball game at Baltimore. Here's Baldelli. He's getting the start today. Came on late in the ball game last night.
Baldelli had that outstanding rookie season with the Tampa Bay Rays, and then really has not done a whole lot in the big leagues since. But he's battled an assortment of injuries and other medical ailments. But it's good to see him on the baseball field once again. Former #1 draft choice back in 2000 of the then Tampa Bay Devil Rays.
It has been one trip after another to the DL. This looks like a double play, and it is. 6-4-3. Dontrell gets the ground ball, and that's all for the Red Sox. We go to the bottom of the second. Still no score. Tigers bat in the bottom of the second in a scoreless ball game. Wakefield back to the mound facing Cabrera, Granderson, and then Brandon Inge. Got him 1-2-3 on 3 fly ball outs back in the first inning.
And Tigers came out this morning and took batting practice, which is something that Leland likes to do, especially when you have a team where you have a few veteran players on it. You want to get them up out of the bed and get them up, get them moving, get them some breakfast. They perform a little bit better that way versus sleeping in and just putting the uniform on and playing. Red Sox did not hit on the field. They hit in the cage.
Here's a 1-2. Floater that stays high. 2 balls, 2 strikes. That is line through, a base hit out of the reach of a diving Kevin Youkilis, and the Tigers have their first hit. Talked to Cabrera, John Keating did yesterday, and asked him what it's like to face Tim Wakefield and his approach at the plate.
I don't know. You try to be patient, because he throw, like you say, a lot of knuckleballs. The more time the ball, you gotta try to hit the knuckle gonna stay right here.
Do you move up a little bit?
No. I try to do the same adjustment I do with normal pitches, so I don't think about that.
Well, he got himself a base hit here to start things off in the second.
And he was very patient as well. He got him something that was outside. He kind of reached out and poked that ball right past Youkilis. Little knuckle. Took it right off the carpet.
Curtis Granderson was responsible for the first Tigers hit last night. It came in the 7th inning off Josh Beckett. The Tigers were being no hits at that point.
Curtis batting average all of a sudden up to 272.
1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's what I've always wondered about guys that are going well, Rod, and Granderson is in that mode right now. When you face a guy like Wakefield, can it have a tendency maybe to throw you off a little bit?
No, because what you want to do against Wakefield is throw all the mechanics out the window.
And there's the answer to that. Base hit to right field. Cabrera goes to second. Is he okay? Looks like he's hobbling a little bit. Gene Lamont took a couple steps out there, and he's looking into the dugout.
And Kevin Rand's going to come out and take a look at him. Looked like a little hamstring, little left hamstring action. Looked like he was going to try to go to third base, and then it may have bit him a little bit, and he kind of pulled up. Let's take a look here. He looks like he's entertaining the thought of trying to go to third base here. And then once he gets towards second, he just kind of pulls up. And then he grabs that hamstring. Let's hope it's just a cramp, though. Sometimes when you play as much as these guys play, and especially when you're a big guy like Cabrera, and sometimes it's just a cramp because you're dehydrated. But just to finish that thought on changing your approach against a knuckleballer, if you're Granderson, really you throw all your mechanics out the window and you just try to see something that's up in the strike zone. And if you get something up in the strike zone, it's pretty much going to drop down around your waist area. So that's kind of what you try to do against a knuckleballer, and you don't try to do too much against him.
It's an 8-game hitting streak now for Granderson, who is 6 for his last 9. So the Tigers have something brewing here, and here is Brandon Inge.
Well, Cabrera's going to have to be careful, at least while he's running the bases.
Tigers have hit some home runs off Wakefield. In fact, they've hit 31 against Wakefield in Tim's career, which is the 3rd highest mark of any team. And you go back to a game here in 2004 when the Tigers hit 6 off Wakefield in this ballpark. It was a game in which the Tigers had 7 total in a win against the Red Sox, but 6 of them came off the knuckleballer. One and one on Inge. A couple of hits in the series. Tigers trying to score first here today. And it's drilled down the left field line. That's a fair ball. It's going to go to the corner. 1 run will come in, maybe 2. Let's see. Granderson rounding third. And he's coming home, and he'll score. Brandon Inge with a 2-run double. And it was taking a while for Cabrera to get around the bases, and I don't know if he's going to continue in this game. He's holding his hamstring.
I'm right there with you, partner. We probably have seen the last of Cabrera today. 3 consecutive hits for the Tigers on knuckleballs, and you can see that the big fella just kind of labor him. As a matter of fact, and Granderson almost caught him. And as soon as he touches home plate, he reaches down and grabs that hamstring. Jeff Larish more than likely will have to go to first base.
There's a ground ball hit to the shortstop. Lugo gobbles it up. Inge will move up, and Rayburn is out, first out of the inning. But it advances the runner.
That's a good base running play right here by Brandon Inge. Usually you don't go to third base on a ground ball to the shortstop, but Brandon kind of read that the ball was to his left. Therefore, he was able to get there.
Meanwhile, Cabrera still hobbling. Looks like he's headed back to the Tigers clubhouse area along with Kevin Rand. So the infield has come in now for the Red Sox with a man at third. And Adam Everett trying to deliver the Tigers' third run of the game. Adam batting .274, hitless in this series.
It's good to see the Tigers come out and take the lead early in this game.
Let's see if this scores the run. It will. Inge will come in, and Everett on the slow tapper to short, even with the infield in, gets an RBI.
And because the other two games, Boston took the lead early against Detroit. A couple of good base running plays here by Brandon Inge. He's going on contact. As soon as the ball hits the grass, he is off and running and able to slide without a play. That's one of the things the Tigers like to do. Even though the infield plays them in so many times, they still gamble. They still come on contact quite often. And a lot of times they make it safely.
RBI number 18 for Everett. Here's Dane Sardina. Sardina 2 for 24 with the bat this year. Couple of RBIs. Infield back now with 2 outs. Nobody on. And knuckleball drops in. 1 ball, 1 strike on the Tigers catcher. 3 straight hits to start the inning. The 2-run double by Brandon Inge put the Tigers on the board. There's another strike, 1 and 2. Wakefield is 42 years old. In his 15th season now with the Boston Red Sox. 1995 was his first year. That one missed. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And the 2-2. Another knuckler is popped up foul, back out of play. Wakefield's last start at Toronto, he gave up 6 earned runs and 9 hits in just 4 2/3 innings. Took the loss. And snapped his 2-game win streak. There's strike 3. Sardina took it looking. And the first strikeout for Wakefield, but a big inning for the Tigers. They scored 3. Detroit is brought to you by Bell Tire. Trust us, will make you happy you came in. That's a promise. AT&T, your world delivered. And by Aflac, we've got you under our wing. Back here in the Motor City, Comerica Park site. Tigers lead at 3-0 behind Dontrell Willis. And his pitching coach, Rick Knapp, has these thoughts on his last start against the Orioles.
It wasn't his best outing, and he's the first to admit that. At the same time, I don't think anybody here expected him to be flawless either. So, you know, it's a work in progress. We understand that. He understands that, and hopefully he'll put his best foot forward here.
And so far today he has, as he faces Jacoby Ellsbury to lead things off here in the third, and the Tigers have given him a little bit of offense to work with now. 3-0. Tigers have a new first baseman as we expected. Cabrera is out of the game. Larish is now at first. Here's the 0-1. The outside corner, 0-2. So Willis continues to throw strikes.
His velocity is a little bit better today than it was against Baltimore. Against Baltimore, he was anywhere from 86 to 88 with the fastball. He's already been 90 and above today.
Took that one off the turf and grounded it foul.
And throughout Dontrell's career, left-handers have really had no success against him. Batting average right around 200 since 2003 when D-Train broke into the big leagues.
Want to keep Ellsbury off the bases. 22 steals already this year. And he's hit. An 0-2 pitch hits him, and Ellsbury is on. Leadoff man is on for the first time today for the Red Sox. That'll bring up Julio Lugo. Lugo batting .276, getting his first starts in this series. Came on late in the ballgame last night as a defensive replacement. Ellsbury, as we mentioned, can run, but the Red Sox are down 3 early on in this game. And Dontrell misses outside 1-0.
A little harder to steal against a left-hander as well, but Ellsbury's got that kind of speed where he's not afraid to try it.
$2-0 on Lugo, who spent part of April on the disabled list, had a torn meniscus. Working his way back. Nick Green got the starts at short in the first 2 games. Now it's 3-0. Lugo, a veteran of both leagues, played over in the National League with Houston. And he is taking a strike, despite the fact that he was headed to first base. Willis gave up a walk in the second, but then quickly got a double play ball from Baldelli. And that one missed. Fastball outside. That is his second walk, and now the Red Sox will bring the tying run to the plate with nobody out.
The catcher, number 16, George Kataris.
And is going to bring Rick Knapp out. The Tigers pitching coach making a visit. George Kataris, the number 9 hitter, is due up.
Hey fans, this week on Fox Saturday Baseball, it's a clash of fierce AL Central rivals when the Cleveland Indians visit Chicago to take on Jim Thome and the White Sox. Coverage begins at 4 p.m. on your local Fox station. That would be Saturday. Well, the Boston Red Sox were the last team in the major leagues to get a sacrifice bunt, and that happened just a couple of days ago. But you wonder what Francona may want to do. Left-hander against the left-hander. Try to get a couple of runners into scoring position. No sign of bunt there on the first pitch.
Kotaras hitting .205, starting today in place of Jason Varitek.
How about that? Just a couple of days ago, their first sacrifice bunt of the year.
Certainly not part of their vocabulary. The sack bunt. Here's the 0-1.
What, 2 months though?
Yeah, well, that's to me stunning. I mean, even by accident, you get a sacrifice situation that you take advantage of. But the statistic is accurate, and no sign of bunt here. So there's a ball outside. 2-1 now on Kotaras. This guy's got a little bit of power. In fact, last year he hit 22 home runs at AAA Pawtucket.
He's kind of taken over as the personal catcher for Tim Wakefield, which kind of gives Jason Varitek, their captain, a scheduled day off on turns when Wakefield's going to pitch.
It can be a chore for certain catchers to catch that knuckleballer.
Kotaras was also behind the plate last week when they were in Minnesota, and their club had 6 wild pitches, which tied a modern day record. Daisuke Matsuzaka was the starter in that game for the Boston Red Sox.
Got him, strike 3 in the outside corner. Big strikeout there for Dontrelle, and that's his 3rd already. 1 gone.
Pretty good fastball away from his arm side from a nice arm slot on the outside corner. And really nothing Kotaras could do with it. As a matter of fact, he thought it was a ball, and he questioned home plate umpire Jeff Nelson on it.
We've got word now on Cabrera, a pulled left hamstring. He will be evaluated further tomorrow. So that's not good news. Cabrera out of this game, and we'll see how that turns out. Here's Dustin Pedroia. Ball 1 to Pedroia, who started the game with a bounce out. He's 0 for 1.
And Santiago playing second base today. Polanco with the afternoon off has to play very close to second base to make sure Ellsbury does not get too big a jump out there. You talked about the speed of Ellsbury. He will steal third base.
Now Pedroia in an enviable count here, 2-0 with 2 men on. Tigers got 3 in the bottom of the second. Willis hit a batter and walked a batter here in the 3rd. And he's facing Pedroia, a guy who had 213 hits last year. And he missed again, 3-0.
The control problems that Dontrelle has had in this inning, he has missed with everything up and away to the right-handed batter. And he also hit Ellsbury with a pitch that was inside to the left-hander. So he just needs to make a little bit of adjustment with his arm slot, which would allow him to get that ball on the inner third of the plate.
That's a 4-pitch walk to Pedroia. That is going to load them up now. 3 walks to go with his 3 strikeouts.
Well, Dontrelle just needs to allow his defenders to work behind him. He's got a pretty good infield defense out there, and he's got some guys in the outfield that can go get it, but they can't help him if he's not throwing strikes.
He struck out J.D. Drew back in the 1st. He desperately needs a ground ball here. He got the double play back in the 2nd from Baldelli. And that one rides inside, 1-0.
Every pitch that he misses with pretty much misses in the same location.
Well, Gene Lamont has picked up the telephone now. The Tigers don't want to see this one slip away. They need a victory here today, so they're getting the bullpen apparently active early. There's another one that missed. 2 balls, no strikes.
It looks like Dontrelle out there aiming a little bit now, and it's only natural to do after you've walked the bases loaded. Your natural tendency is to try to aim the baseball, but Dontrelle is not at his best when he's trying to aim it. Let it go and trust that you're going to throw the ball over the plate, or Drew will hurt you.
Zach Minor's starting to warm up in the Detroit bullpen, just in case some help is needed here. Willis trying to wiggle out of this jam with only one out. The 2-1 to Drew. Inside, 3 balls and 1 strike with no room on the bases. And there's Minor up early in this game. He lost him. Ball 4. He's going to walk in a run. 4 walks for Willis and an RBI for Drew, his 27th. Red Sox are on the board. Hit batter and 3 walks to force in a run, and now the real trouble perhaps begins, because here is the number 3 hitter, Youkilis.
And Boston, these guys continue to go up there keeping the bat right on their shoulder. They're not going to swing until Dontrell throws some strikes. He was pretty good at the beginning of the game. He was getting ahead of most guys until Ellsbury led off this inning, getting hit by an 0-2 pitch.
It's 0-1.
You may want to throw a changeup or a breaking ball. Just about every pitch he's thrown so far in this inning has been a fastball, and he's missed with several of those. You know, Youkilis is sitting on that fastball right now. Changeup or a breaking ball may be the pitch to call here.
Youkilis 2 for 7 in the series. Tying run right now, standing at second base. 3 men on for the Red Sox. Tigers got 3 in the second. The Red Sox coming right back. Here's the 1-1. 2-1.
Had Dontrell been throwing strikes more efficiently, he may have gotten that call from Jeff Nelson. It wasn't that bad a pitch, but if you're all over the place, home plate umpire cannot give you that pitch.
Now it's 3-1.
Jim's going to have to make a decision here.
He's starting to pace.
He's going to have to make a decision. If he walks him.
Well, that decision may be made for him. I think if he walks him, he may not have a choice. You got Bay coming up next. 3-1 pitch, way inside. Ball 4. That's going to make it 3-2. And now we'll see what Leland wants to do. That's 5 walks. And that's going to be it. Really no choice for the skipper here. The Tigers got 3, but they have given 2 back. The bases remain loaded. Youkilis gets an RBI, his 34th. And the Tigers are going to the bullpen. So Dontrell Willis taken out of the game here. Wallside windows pitching change. Tigers lead by a run. We'll be back. the field, and here's what happened. He apparently is talking about the outside corner of the plate and maybe Dontrell getting squeezed a little bit. That's all we can think up here. Who knows? But they went at it pretty good.
Did Jim get kicked out of the game?
I don't know. I didn't see any indication that he did as we look at the numbers on Willis, and apparently he was tossed out of the game because he's just given the lineup card to Lloyd McClendon. So what was a 3-0 Tigers lead is now 3-2, and the Red Sox coming back, and here comes Leland. This is just moments ago. He gave the card to Lloyd McClendon. So apparently the skipper has been ejected from this game. So the current skipper hands it off to the former skipper. And here is Zach Minor now to try and calm this thing down. The Tigers lead by 1, but they are loaded up with only 1 out. Here is Jason Bay. The Red Sox don't even have a hit, and they have a couple of runs in. Bay struck out his first time up. Minor misses high, 1-0. And there it is. There was the ejection. Leland was walking off, and apparently said something to Nelson that pushed his button. There's a strike called, 1-1.
And that's the area that Minor needs to work in if he's going to get the ground ball, which would possibly get him out of this inning. And Bay's got a lot of pop, so you have to work at the bottom of the strike zone.
Now the 1-1 pitch. Loop foul, back out of play, 1-2. Jason Bay with his 16 home runs, tied with Mark Teixeira for the second best in the American League. Carlos Pena leads the way with 17. So power to burn here for Bay, and he has already homered in this series. Tigers would like a ground ball. In fact, they'd love one. One and 2. Dontrell ended up walking 5 before departing. 3 consecutively. Here's the 1-2. Line drive, fair ball down the left field line. Pedroia will score. Drew coming around, he's going to score. It kicks off the wall, and they're still only going to get 2 runs as Euclid goes to third, stops there. It's a double, and the Red Sox have taken the lead. 2 RBIs for Bay, 53 on the year now, and those runs are charged to Willis.
Not a bad pitch here by Minor. The ball's down. It's a breaking ball on the outside part of the plate, but if you're a hitter and you've got no fear of the inside pitch, you're able to reach out and hook balls back down third base, as Bay does there for a double and a couple of more ribbies. At some point in time, you have to pitch inside a little bit if you're Minor, and also Willis failed to do so while he was out there.
So it didn't take the Red Sox long to come back. In the very next half inning, they take the lead, still batting here with only 1 out and 2 men in scoring position. This is the 8th man to bat in the inning, Mike Lowell. And that, by the way, was the first Boston hit in this game. Four runs on 1 hit. The 0-1 pitch. 1 ball and 1 strike. Mike Lowell had a base on balls in the second, but eventually was erased on a double play ball.
And Lloyd McClendon electing not to play his infield in here. Apparently they feel like they're still going to score some runs this afternoon. against Tim Wakefield. Ground ball anywhere but to first base scores them another run.
Ainge will charge on it. Has only one play. That'll get a run in. Lowell picks up an RBI as Euclid scores to make it 5-3. RBI 36 from Mike Lowell. And there are two gone with a man at third. Here's the ninth man to bat in the inning, Rocco Baldelli. So the book is complete now on Willis. He is charged with all 5. Baldelli looks at a ball outside, 1-0. Willis goes 2 1/3. Didn't give up a hit, but he walked 5 and struck out 3. Baldelli hit into a double play back in the second. He was on the disabled list earlier this year back in April with a bad hamstring. We talked about all of the trips he has made to the DL.
Good pitch there by Minor. Even though it wasn't a strike, at least you have shown that you will go inside. And now he needs to do that on a few more occasions while he's out there.
There's a base hit. A 2-out knock for the Red Sox. Score another run. It's a 6-run inning. Baldelli gets his 7th RBI. So it looked like the Tigers were going to cruise today, and they got out to that quick 3-0 lead. But the Red Sox, with a quick strike here, 6-run frame.
It all started with Jacoby Ellsbury, who was the leadoff hitter in this inning, being hit by an 0-2 pitch. The floodgates opened up.
To the tune of 6 runs. So here's Ellsbury for the second time in the inning. 10 men to the plate for the Red Sox. Strike 1. Well, the Tigers staff had come into this game with 15 quality starts in their last 18 games, but Willis knocked out here with a 6-run third. Tigers pitching staff under Rick Knapp with 27 quality starts this year, which is the second highest total in the American League. Inge will chase this one, but he's going to be out of room. Back in the seats, 1-2. Tigers ERA among the best in the American League. It has been all of this first half, but today Red Sox again getting to this Tigers pitching staff. Tigers were second behind Seattle entering play with a team ERA of an even 4. One and 2 on Jacoby Ellsbury. Swing and a miss. He got him to chase out of the strike zone, and that finally ends the inning. 42 pitches in the inning for Tigers pitching. A 6-run frame for Boston. Clay Thomas leads it off for the Tigers. We head to the bottom of the third, and Boston has come marching back. They lead 6-3 with a 6-run third inning. It'll be Clay Thomas, Ramon Santiago, and then Maglio Ordonez facing the right-hander, Tim Wakefield. We got Cleat to fly out to left his first time up.
Yeah, a lot of baseball to be played here today. The Tigers just need to continue to do what they did last half inning. Try to get themselves in a decent count and not try to do too much against Wakefield.
Here's Pedroia charging the slow roller, and Thomas is out, one gone. Well, a reminder to tune in Saturday morning for Red Wings Weekly and Tigers Weekly. First at 11 a.m. Red Wings Weekly provides the latest news and features for the Stanley Cup final between the Wings and the Penguins. And don't miss Tigers Weekly at 11:30 this week, hosted by a new member of the Tigers grounds crew, our own Mickey York. How about that? Check those two shows coming up. Tigers Weekly and Red Wings Weekly. Ramon Santiago batting in the 2 slot today, playing second base as Polanco gets a day off. And there's a strike call from Wakefield. 1-1 on Ramon. Bouncing ball to second base. Pedroia has another opportunity. Santiago is out 4-3. 2 away in the Tigers' third. It's the same old thing with these knuckleball pitchers. When they get on a roll, they can get on a roll, and when you get to them, they can get to them. I mean, it's a lot of times feast or famine with these guys. And Wakefield has carved out a really nice career. He has had double-digit victories in quite a few seasons for Boston. Managers will sometimes tell you that you'll get that top foot on the top step of the dugout, and you get ready to take a guy out, and then he'll rip a few off, in which he retires 7 or 8 straight. Maglio has a single, 2-out base runner. And the Tigers have their 4th hit. Wakefield has 184 career wins.
And he was a guy that way back when he was pitching in the Pirates organization, they were contemplating letting him go until they figured out he had a knuckleball, and here he is 15 years later.
Big swing by Larish, who takes his first at bat in this game. He replaced Miguel Cabrera, who left with a pulled hamstring.
That knuckleball has kind of saved quite a few guys' careers. The Negro brothers. When you can't get guys out the conventional way with the fastballs and the sliders and the curve, if you got a change piece or knuckleball, it's a good one.
Ellsbury is going to run this one down. That thing looked like a double off the bat easily.
He's got some speed out there.
No runs and a hit, 1 left. Let's go to the 4th. Today, prior to Dustin Pedroia, who is the last Red Sox MVP. If you were tuned in last night, we kind of gave that one away, but that was last night. We'll get you the answer in the bottom of the 4th. Well, Mr. Minor back to work now. The Tigers down 6-3 in this one as we go to the 4th inning.
Yeah, they're going to need Minor to stay out there for a while this afternoon and give them some quality innings and also put up some zeros to allow the offense to try to get back in this game, which they can do against Wakefield.
Here is Julio Lugo to start things off.
Boston's got a nice club. They've got some speed, they got power, they got defense, they got bullpen. There are no perfect teams in the major leagues, but Boston's got an outstanding ball club.
Speaking of speed, that last play that Ellsbury made was a really impressive one.
Yeah, he's a top-notch defender as well. I was talking to Terry Francona in his office before the game today, and I was kind of complimenting him on his ball club and telling him how I thought his club was and a good team. And he said, "You think so?" I said, "Absolutely." He says, "Yeah, we got a good team. We got to stay injury-free, obviously." They ran off 11 consecutive games earlier this year, and so they have the ability to rack off some wins. 11 straight.
Look at that play by Inge, diving to his left and scooped by Larish for the out.
Nice soft hands by Larish over at first base. Inge a picking and grinning too. He gets to his feet so quickly, and very seldom does he make a throw where you need this type of help, but when he does, it's good to have a Cabrera or a Larish kind of bail you out and make that good play. He usually hits you right in the chest, Brandon Inge.
Here's George Kataris. His second at bat of the ball game. He struck out back in the 3rd. Rolls this one to first base. Larish will make the play, and there are 2 gone. A couple of ground balls. Well, here's a reminder. You can vote for the Tigers player of the game using your cell phone. Text Tigers followed by a space and the player's uniform number to our new code. Get the new code now. It's FSDET or 37338. See final results post-game during Tigers Live.
It's kind of wide open today.
Oh, it's up for grabs. Inge had the early lead, I think, with the 2-run double. And that great defensive play, but it is up for grabs.
For 3 consecutive days here, I don't think Dustin Pedroia has swung at the first pitch on any of his at-bats. 3 days in a row.
Nor has he used his razor. He got that big old beard going.
He just needs to trim it up a little bit.
That's all we're asking.
Yeah, just trim it up a little bit. He's a gamer, though, man. He just, I mean, that kind of describes him right there. I mean, he's just one of them guys that gets to the ballpark early, stays late, sitting on their bench at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, watching the Tigers take batting practice, uniform on. He's a good baseball player.
The baseball equivalent of a gym rat.
Exactly. He's one of those guys you have to send home. I remember the story a couple of years ago, and Francona was telling it when he was a rookie. You talked about him struggling early. But he's one of those guys that lives real close to the ballpark in Boston. At least he used to, walking distance. And Terry said he would beat him to the ballpark every single day.
Wow.
And managers get to the yard early.
Yeah, really early. There's another hit for Pedroia.
He can play.
It's his 4th in the series. 2-out single.
I told you it took a couple of years for him to really grow on me when I was watching him play at Arizona State. As a freshman, sophomore, started to like him a little bit more each year. 3-time first team all Pac-10. And also told you yesterday he caused Ian Kinsler, the second baseman of the Texas Rangers, to transfer schools. And because Pedroia took his starting job as a shortstop.
Well, they both got theirs. They're both starring in the big leagues.
They are, aren't they? I think Kinsler ended up going to Missouri.
Well, here is J.D. Drew now with 2 outs. Pedroia can and will run. He has 9 stolen bases. Ball 1 outside to Drew, who drew a bases loaded walk in the 3rd. In fact, Kataris is the only Sox player not to reach base so far in this game. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Speaking of second baseman, did you see the other day where Dan Uggla of Florida got his 100th home run, and they said he was the fastest ever second baseman to get to that feat?
I saw that, and I didn't believe the stat, but I guess it's true.
I mean, all the great second basemen that have played the game of baseball, he is the fastest to get to 100 home runs.
I know Lou got to the big leagues in a hurry and at a young age and had some power. Whitaker, that is. But yeah, I would not have guessed it would have been Uggla.
You're absolutely right about Pedroia and his ability to steal. I thought that was part of his game that he really didn't have, but he stole 20 bags last year and he was only caught once. So that ratio is off the charts.
It is, and when you talk about the Red Sox, you kind of think that they're a station-to-station team, but not really true when you have Pedroia and Ellsbury. Both those guys can run.
Now Baldelli on occasion. And Drew. It's a well-rounded team. You've got to play your best baseball to beat them.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Just missed it. 3-2 on J.D. Drew. I know the last time we saw the Yankees, they didn't have A-Rod, so you know it's kind of unfair to judge them because they have really come on. But I think there's no question the Yankees and Red Sox are the class of the East right now.
Yankees did not have this type of bullpen either that the Boston Red Sox had.
It's ball 4. It's another walk.
They've got a good team. There's no doubt. And you've got CC and Burnett and all the other pieces that they have. But as far as the bullpen is concerned, I don't think it's a match right now. They're dead even.
31-22 coming into play today. Toronto's still hanging out, 2 back. Mark Kotsay has been introduced now as the pinch hitter for Kevin Youkilis, who you might recall last night was involved in a collision at first base.
Got stepped on by Anderson.
He came out of the game at that point last night. He started today's game, but now he's out.
Here's that play. It was kind of tough to tell exactly what happened here. But with that right foot, he stepped right on the right heel of Youkilis right there. He also clipped him with the left foot going past, but it was the step on with the right foot that caused the discomfort and caused him to leave the game.
Well, here's that depth you were talking about this Boston team being well-rounded. They can use or lose a guy like Youkilis, and a guy like Kotsay, who's in his 13th big league season and he's had a nice career, just steps off the bench.
Kotsay was an absolute star at Cal State Fullerton when he was a collegiate player. #1 draft choice of the Florida Marlins back in 1996.
One and 2 on Mark Kotsay. Tigers down 6-3 after leading 3-0 at one point in this game. In the air to center field. Granderson coming on to retire the side. No runs. They get a hit, a walk. Strand a couple. Granderson in. Rayburn coming up. Aflac trivia question today. Prior to Dustin Pedroia, who was the last Red Sox player to win the MVP award? And your answer is, back in 1995, Mo Vaughn, the slugging first baseman of the Boston Red Sox.
Mo Vaughn hit 300 that year with 39 home runs and 126 driven in. But Albert Bell hit 317 that year with 50 home runs, the same number of RBIs, and he finished second to Mo Vaughn.
I think that year Bell also had 50-plus doubles.
Yeah.
He should have won that award.
It must have been one of those years where the writers were looking at it as, I don't know what they were looking at, to be honest with you.
I just don't think they liked Albert Bell.
Well, there you have it. There you have it.
I mean, let's just not beat around the bush.
Yeah, there you have it.
Albert really wasn't a personality that a lot of guys liked.
Yeah, but why should that discourage you from voting for a guy if the numbers are there?
Shouldn't. Absolutely not. Albert Bell deserved to win that award. Mo Vaughn had a great year, but I mean, that's just not right when stuff like that happens. I don't think. Granderson out on strikes. Wakefield picks up his second of the game. Here's Brandon Inge. There's a strike called on Brandon, who doubled in 2 back in the second. Here's a knuckleball that drops in 0-2.
Nice crowd here today for a Thursday afternoon.
I was looking at that before the game thinking, there's a lot of people in that upper deck. I was also thinking Arby's too.
Have you cashed in on any of those Arby's yet?
I haven't.
You've been down there, haven't you?
Well, I have.
You've taken your scorecard down there and got you an Arby's.
No. I've gone to Arby's. I just haven't cashed in my scorecard. That's tapped slowly toward third. It's going to be an infield hit. No chance. Inge is aboard for the second time.
Well, speaking of crowds, this Sunday, the Tigers host the Los Angeles Angels at 105. And it's every kid, every Sunday giveaway day. All kids 14 and under receive a Justin Verlander hat. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or log on to tigers.com. Get your JV hat.
We had a sneak peek at that hat yesterday.
Sweet.
It was orange with JV's number on it.
Nice and bright.
Rayburn has a big rip. Here's the word on Euclid, by the way. Tight right calf. So apparently it had nothing to do with last night. Precautionary measures, just taking him out of the game. Rayburn is 0 for 1. Ryan came in really swinging the bat. 417 over his last 9. Runner going. Here comes the throw, and the tag is in time. Got him on the arm as he was sliding by.
Looked like Inge was going to beat that down there. I don't know if the way that he slid allowed Pedroia to apply the tag to him, but it just looked like he was going to be safe. Nice throw by Qatar. Just kind of aims it down there, and Inge just kind of slides in there and gets swiped on the way past him.
Is that a missed hit and run, maybe?
I don't know. Could have been. But against a knuckleballer, it may have been a straight steal. But Wakefield is one of those guys that even though he throws the knuckleball, he takes very little time getting the ball out of his hand into the catcher's glove. Regardless of the velocity of it, very little time. He's under 1.3 seconds.
Wow. I once talked to Steve Sparks about that, what he does to combat guys running on him. And he said, well, you just utilize the slide step a little bit more. A lot more.
Yeah, also vary your times and your delivery toward home.
Swing and a miss, and just like that, the inning is over. Wakefield picks up his 3rd strikeout. 4 in the books. Bay, Lowell, Baldelli coming up for the BOS Sox. stores. And by wall-side windows, we can do that. We are the factory. Back here at Comerica Park, Mario and Pemba alongside Rod Allen. Glad to have you with us here this afternoon. It started out very promisingly, Rod, and then all of a sudden the Boston Red Sox came back and really took advantage of a lot of wildness from Dontrelle Willis in this game. Yeah,
it all started with Dontrelle hitting Jacoby Ellsbury with an 0-2 pitch, and then for whatever reason lost his arm slot, lost his way. He went on to walk 5 in that inning before Jim Leyland took him out of the ball game. So unfortunate for Dontrelle because a couple of his starts were real good. Got hit around a little bit in Baltimore, but he threw strikes, but today couldn't find a strike zone.
You also get the feeling, though, that against Tim Wakefield, the Tigers' offense could wake up, and there's still a lot of baseball to be played.
I think so, because they had a situation back in that inning where the Red Sox scored a lot of runs, where Jim Leyland elected to play his infield back, and the Boston scored one more run on a ground ball. So they feel like they can get back in this game against Wakefield. That's a great point.
Well, 1 pitch and 1 out. Zach Minor came on in relief of Dontrelle Willis. Mike Lowell, the batter.
Also, in this yard, in 10 appearances, Wakefield's earned run average is over 10. So if they stay patient against him and Minor puts up some zeros here the remainder of the way, the Tigers have a legitimate shot of chipping away at Mr. Wakefield.
Wakefield has thrown 56 pitches so far and leads 6-3. Lowell had an RBI ground out his last time up, reaches out, pokes it to center field.
That's what I was talking about a half an inning ago, when hitters have no fear that you're going to come inside at all. They will reach out and get base hits like this. And we saw Jason Bay do it earlier, reaching down and getting a pitch off the plate. Now we watch Euclid do the exact same thing, reach out off the plate outside and find the grass in the outfield. You have to pitch inside sometimes.
There's Rocco Baldelli. RBI single in that big 6-run third for Baldelli. Broke his bat, rolled it to third. Inge gobbles it up to second one. Here comes the relay. In time, the double play. And just like that, the inning is over. 5-4-3, Tigers down 3. You're watching Tigers baseball, presented by Bell Tire. (6-3) Boston in this one as Adam Everett comes to the plate here in the bottom of the 5th inning. It'll be Everett, Sardina, and Clee Thomas for the Tigers facing Tim Wakefield. The Tigers got 3 against Wakefield in the second, but nothing since. 1 ball, 1 strike. Everett had a ground out which produced a run in the second inning.
Wakefield, one of those guys too, where pitch count really no factor. He can throw 150 pitches out there throwing that knuckleball. in many ways, Wakefield has to be thought of not necessarily as an ace, but if you're Francona, you know most days when he goes out there, he's going to stay out there for a while if that knuckleball is dancing and he's not getting hit around quite a bit, which allows Terry to rest his bullpen.
We saw the career numbers that we showed a little while ago. 32 complete games in his career. He has the 2 complete games that Boston has as a staff. Both of them belong to Wakefield, and Everett is out, 1 gone.
I'm going to take you back last half inning at what I was talking about. First, you're going to see the base hit here from Lowell on a pitch off the plate outside. He has no fear of the inside pitch. Therefore, he reaches out, gets breaking ball, and he finds grass in the outfield for a base hit. Now take a look at what he does to Baldelli. He comes back and he throws a real nice, firm 2-seam fastball inside. He runs in on his hands. He jams him, and he gets himself the double play to get out of the inning. And that's what I'm talking about. Every now and then you have to pitch in there to be effective when you do go outside.
The base hit for Dane Sardina.
He needed that base hit in the worst way.
Well, he came in 2 for 24, and Sardina picks up a 1-out single. Now Clete Thomas, the top of the order. It's the 6th Tigers hit in the game.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why, and it's easy to say because Verlander and Jackson have electric stuff. It's one of the reasons why both of those guys have been so good this year. They pitch inside.
Pedroia gets one. The relay is in time to double play. Tag the runner coming by, and it's a 4-3 twin killing.
Let's take one more look at this double play with Sardina standing on first base. What you're taught to do in this situation, if you can't get past the second baseman, you simply run him over. What Sardina has to do here is either stop before he gets tagged by Pedroia or really not allow Pedroia to finish the double play. And the way you do not allow him to finish the double play is you simply have to run the guy over. We don't see that very often. We were talking about Albert Bell here a couple of innings ago, and it kind of sparked my memory. Remember when he cleaned Fernando Vina's flop a few years ago?
He killed it.
I mean, it was a while ago, but you just don't see it that often, as you just can't allow that second baseman to turn the double play that easily. Either you stop before you get to the second baseman, you make him throw the ball to first, which may give you a chance of getting to second, or you just run him over and you don't allow him to complete that play.
I think a lot of guys these days just don't want that contact of burying a guy.
I don't know, man, because we haven't seen that play very often.
Ever. Yeah.
You just don't see it very often anymore.
Ellsbury leading it off for Boston. Rolls it foul, and the Tigers down by 3 as we play in the 6th.
Ellsbury does not do a whole lot of that. He's a guy that loves to hit the ball the opposite way and is very efficient at doing so.
Lugo, and then Kataris to follow. The 1-2. Minor came on in the third, has been on since. Tigers have out hit the Red Sox 6-4. Popped up, shallow left. Everett with a nice running play.
As a shortstop, as a third baseman, and a left fielder, when Ellsbury's standing in the batter's box, you know, because the spray chart tells you as much, as he hits the ball in your direction most of the time. Therefore, you can get pretty good jumps on balls, and this is a nice job by Everett, because I don't think Rayburn in left field gets there to make this play. He showed a little Brandon Inge range going into the outfield right there.
He did exactly that. I thought that ball was going to drop easily. Here is Julio Lugo. Well, Minor's doing his best, at least after that third, to keep this a 6-3 game. When Zach came on, he gave up a hit to Bay and a couple more RBIs. Those runs were charged to Willis. But no runs in the fourth, no runs in the fifth. Oh, 0-2 on Julio Lugo. And a swing and a miss. Down he goes. Second strikeout for Minor. Hey, some good news. We were talking about the big months of May and who we thought might win Pitcher of the Month. There's your winner,
Justin Verlander. What a lights out month, but really, all those guys on that list were spectacular. What do you think got it for Verlander? The strikeouts?
Probably. Because really that stat was the only stat that I think was far and away better than the rest of the guys.
Porcello had the best earned run average at 1.5, and he also won 5 games. Verlander was and has been spectacular. You know, what we watched Josh Beckett do last night against our ball club, and we've been fortunate enough to watch Verlander do that for about 5 or 6 consecutive starts.
No hit type stuff in those starts. Kataris 0 for 2. Two balls and 1 strike, and he'll be on display tomorrow night.
He'll be on the bump.
Urban Santana will oppose him.
Santana not so good since coming off the disabled list. He was good last year, though.
Rayburn makes the play to retire the side. 1-2-3 inning for Zach Minor, Santiago, Maglio, Larish coming up.
It's the 6th inning, and that means it's time for the Coors Light Freeze Cam, and we're going to put the floater, the knuckleball, on display that Mr. Wakefield is featuring this afternoon against Detroit hitters. It's just like Mario back in the day when you were at the boys club and you were playing a little wiffle ball.
Yeah, it's exactly right.
That thing is dancing all over the place. You got to see it high and let it fly. If it's low, let it go. The Coors Light Freeze Can, brought to you by your Frost Brewed Coors Lights.
Wiffle ball might have been easier to hit. Did you play a lot of wiffle ball?
I sure did. Wiffle ball was fun.
It's good for your hand-eye coordination.
Tremendous for your hand-eye coordination. You know what else I did a lot of? I played a lot of ping pong.
Really?
Ping pong is real good for your hand-eye coordination, too.
I didn't know that.
Oh, that's why they have them in so many Major League clubhouses.
They've got one in Cleveland.
Yep. And there's a few other places that have them, too. I mean, it's great for your hand-eye coordination.
Santiago tries to lay down a bunt. So you could probably take anybody on in this Tigers team, huh?
I don't think so. It's been a while since I played. And they got some guys that are pretty good down there. I was watching them play in Cleveland. They got some guys that are real good at playing. It's been a long time since I played, but I was halfway decent when I played a while back. Boys Club was great. I used to go there every single day after school. As a matter of fact, when I got in trouble, that was my punishment. I couldn't go to the Boys Club. Because you got whoopings back in them days. But no timeouts, partner. You got some whoopings back then.
Oh, yes, you did.
Yeah, nowadays you get timeout. Go to your room and play Wii.
It's a kindler, gentler punishment. Go to your room. Hey, no problem. I got all the gadgets.
TV, all the rest of that stuff up in there. Back in the day, boy, go find that switch, boy.
The 1-2. Nobody uses a switch anymore.
No.
There's a base hit for Santiago. So admit it, you used to take some people's money playing ping pong, didn't you?
A little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
7 Tigers hits now. The base hit by Santiago. I had no idea you were very good at ping pong.
Now, did you get timeouts or did you get whoopings?
I'm trying to remember. I never got into trouble.
You got timeouts.
I never got into trouble. I was a good boy.
Yeah, see, you're good.
There's a high fly ball. Right center field. 1 out. I got timeouts, to be honest with you. Yeah, that was my path to discipline. Here's Jeff Larish. What a great day here. 65 degrees right now. They said it was supposed to get up to 70 today, but still in the sunshine. It's a great place to be. Larish hit a fly ball to center back in the 3rd. Took over for Cabrera, who pulled a hamstring earlier in the game. He'll be further evaluated tomorrow. There's a drive deep into right field. It is hooking, and that ball is foul. Oh, just foul. And Larish is not so sure.
There goes Lloyd.
Neither is Lloyd.
They may have to replay it.
We may actually have to see a replay on this.
I don't think we've had to utilize one here at Comerica Park yet, have we?
No, not this year. Here come all 4 of the umpires now to convene. I think Lloyd's saying, you know what, we need to go look at that.
Well, this is a positive sign right here that all 4 of them are getting together to see if someone had a better look. And the only one that could have had a better look is the home plate umpire.
Yeah, it looks like it was foul. You can see it on this side of the pole.
Yeah, looks like they made the right call.
That's about as close as you can come without hitting that foul pole.
They're going to replay it.
Yep, they're going to go look at it.
How about that?
Well, if you're wondering about the replay rules, here you go. They can be used to determine a fair or foul ball, fan interference, or a ball leaving the playing field. Managers cannot demand a replay review. Now, obviously, Lloyd came out to say, hey, we need to look at this.
Well, I think by the umpires getting together, they decided with the crew chief that they would go and review it. The home plate umpire does not even leave to go. The other 3 umpires have left, but the home plate umpire did not go. He's still in the field.
Well, the crew chief will make the final decision, and you cannot argue or protest his final decision. But I think in the end, when they take a look at this, they're probably going to come to the conclusion that we came to, that it was foul. But in the meantime, they'll look it over. That's Jeff Nelson, the home plate umpire, chatting with Terry Francona.
Usually we're told who the crew chief is on our scoring cards and lineups, but it does not indicate which one is the crew chief here.
No, but I'm guessing it's Tim Cheetah without having that confirmation.
He's the elder statesman, you believe?
I think it's probably him. You're right, though. They have that asterisk next to the umpire that they deem as the crew chief.
And Bob Davidson's at third, Cheetah's at second, and Carlson is at first.
Cheetah is listed as a crew chief in the media guide for the umpires. Here they come. It apparently didn't take too long. No home run. There's Tim Cheetah. It was a foul ball, so indeed the crew chief has made his decision. That is final. You cannot argue that or protest that.
I believe that's the first one we've had here at Comerica Park, and it was seamless. Did not take very long at all.
And that was the one concern about instant replay, how long it would take. There's another look. You can see it clearly went foul. So nothing but a long, loud strike for Jeff Larish. You're right, though. That took very little time at all. One ball, one strike on Jeff. There's a ground ball off the glove of Wakefield. This might lead to a double play. He slowed it up. They got him at first to get the twin killing. Otherwise, they might have gone into center field. Inning over. 6 in the books. Pedroia, Drew, Kotze coming up. June and July, they're on sale now. They include $300 food credit. Tickets start as low as $85 per person. Minimum of 20 people. For tickets, call 313-471-BALL or log on to tigers.com. So the Tigers down by 3 as we go to the top of the 7th. That last double play, by the way, went 4. Make it 1-4-6-3. And now Minor back to the hill facing the top of the lineup. Dustin Pedroia.
You know, Mario, our good friend just left the booth. Bruce Fields and his lovely wife Julie and their youngest son Daniel. And of course Daniel's a senior at U of D. And they think on Tuesday he's going to be a pretty nice draft choice.
Well, I know he's had a great season. He's had a great high school career. He is a big boy.
He can go put on one of those uniforms right now.
Literally.
And not look out of place. And that was a wonderful article that was written on him. What was that, a couple of Sundays ago we came here?
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago.
Beautiful article written in the Free Press on Daniel Fields.
Of course, Bruce, the former hitting coach for the Tigers here. And best of luck to Daniel next week and the entire Fields family at the Major League Baseball draft.
Bruce now is a roving hitting instructor for the Cleveland Indians. So when you rove in different organizations, you get home at least once a month for about 4 or 5 days. But Daniel's going to graduate, and of course they've got the draft coming up, so it should be a nice time in the Fields family.
Broken bat, foul ball down the left field line. Well, you've gone through that with your sons, and I can't imagine the excitement.
It's nerve-wracking.
Is it?
It is. It really is. I mean, you're excited, but at the same time, you're sitting there not sitting by the phone, but you're kind of watching the draft all day and kind of wondering where your son's going to get picked. And if he doesn't go on the first day, you wonder if he's going to go on the second day. It's
yeah.
I mean, it's fun, but at the same time, it's a little nerve-wracking. But it's also a blessing.
No balls, 2 strikes. It'll bounce in, 1-2.
It's a day that all these guys on the field once went through, whether they were in high school, junior college, or Division I college. Some guys D2 schools. And really, it's what they dream about when they start playing in Little League.
1-2. And 2 balls, 2 strikes on Pedroia. Now, Bruce also has another son playing college ball, correct?
Yes, he's playing at Wright State, I believe. That's right down the street in close to Toledo, I believe, isn't it?
It's in Ohio. Dayton,
Ohio, yes. His name is Aaron.
The 2-2 is outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. (6-3) Red Sox lead. We're in the 7th. J.D. Drew waiting on deck. Here's the 3-2 pitch. That's in the air. Shallow left field. Ryan Rayburn coming on. Ryan Perry is heating up. Perry sporting the shades today. The prescription glasses. Not shades, but the goggles, the glasses. Apparently no contacts today. Strike 1 on J.D. Drew. J.D. knows what that draft is all about. He was originally a #1 pick of the Philadelphia Phillies. Never signed with the Phils. Went to St. Louis instead. And has carved out a nice big league career. Hit his 200th home run in the ball game last night.
He actually sat out an entire year playing independent ball.
He did.
So that he could go into the draft the next June.
He did not want to play for the Phillies, and obviously that turned some people off, but he went back in the draft the next year and played with St. Louis. The 2-1. 2-2 on J.D. Drew.
He has a brother that's a pretty good player and playing in Arizona, playing shortstop. Stephen Drew. Talented family.
Full count. J.D. grew up in Georgia, South Georgia. Of course, that's big football country. Had a chance to talk with Matthew Stafford yesterday, the Lions' #1 pick, and how big football is in Georgia. And J.D. found his way into baseball. And he lost him, ball 4. Well, we talked about Verlander, but more good news on the pitching front for the Tigers. How about this announcement?
It's what it's all about. When you have these kinds of arms and they're having this kind of season, you're going to find yourself being in first place. Rick Porcello, Rookie of the Month. Could have very easily been the Pitcher of the Month.
Kevin Rand coming out now, and apparently there's something wrong with Zach Miner. Miner has walked Drew here in the 7th. Perry has been warming up. He should be good to go if they need him, and they are signaling to the bullpen. So Miner will be taken out of the game, and Ryan Perry will be summoned in. I don't know what the extent of this injury is, but apparently something is bothering Zach Miner. And they'll walk him off the field. Tigers have already lost Cabrera today with a pulled hamstring. Miner did a pretty good job today in keeping the Red Sox at bay. 6-3 game. It hasn't changed since the 3rd inning. Let's take a look at that last pitch. You might see him wince a little bit. Yeah, right there. Well, the Tigers trying to get healthier. We've talked about Bonderman and how he might return to the rotation, and looks like Marcus Thames sometime soon will be rejoining the ball club. And here's what he's doing with Toledo. He's gotten his average up now. Looks like he's good to go. Yeah, he started out real slow. Was not getting a whole lot of base hits, and he was striking out quite a bit. And he does have quite a few strikeouts, 11, but that's Marcus. Marcus has averaged about 25 home runs the last 3 years for the Tigers, and once they get him back, that will add a power bat for sure. Well, as Leland was saying the other day, it doesn't take a genius to figure out we're going to face Saunders on Sunday. Then you go to Chicago, and they've got a bunch of lefties. They got Danks. They got Burley. So his bat will certainly be welcomed back into the lineup. And there's Jeremy Bonderman, who's on the comeback trail as well. And Tigers will not tip their hand as to when Bonderman will pitch. But a lot of people are speculating that he'll get one of those games on Monday, the doubleheader in Chicago. We'll see. Jim was asked the other day, do you know who's going to pitch on Monday? And he said, yep. Yeah. Care to share it? No. Find out when you find out. Ryan Perry in for his 22nd appearance now. He got a little wild last time he was out there, but this kid has a wealth of talent. He is learning at the major league level. He told me a couple of weeks ago that he had never really worked on his mechanics during the regular season. He said once the season started, wherever he has been, he has just kind of gone about his business in a game-like fashion. But this year, because he's so young and he only spent 13 years as a minor leaguer, on occasion Rick Knapp will take him down to the bullpen and they will just have some dry sessions, and they'll just talk about pitching, and he's learning. He is learning on the job. Well, he's going to take on Kotsay here, trying to keep it a 6-3 game. 1 on, 1 out in the 7th. Kotsay looks at strike 1. Had a couple of guys leave the game today. We talked about Cabrera, now Miner. Euclid had to leave for Boston. Falling like flies. Evan Longoria of the Tampa Bay Rays. Little tender hamstring a couple of days ago. He didn't play yesterday. Slap toward left. Rayburn on the run. That's why Jim this year has done a really nice job at spelling Maglio on occasion and allowing him to DH. Polanco not in today. The day game after the night game. And it's one of the things that he said he was going to do with his team. He was going to protect some guys. And it helps when you've got the young legs like Thomas and Anderson and Rayburn, guys like that you can run out there and you can give your regulars a nice blow so they're fresh as the summer goes on. 2 outs for Jason Bay. And that becomes so critical because once you get into August and September, baseball is unlike any other sport. I mean, it will drag you down physically and mentally. It's always warm and humid wherever you're playing, which takes a lot out of the guys. It may not be as physical as other sports like hockey and football, but just the sheer amount of games compressed in a short amount of time, just a few months, will take its toll. Here's the 0-1 in the air, right center for Granderson. And that is that for the Boston Red Sox. Stretch time coming up at Comerica. Boston by 3.
Hey fans, visit the official online shop of the Detroit Tigers at Tigers.com. Browse the largest selection of authentic Tigers gear, including clubhouse caps, t-shirts, jerseys, sweatshirts, and more. And get your team gear straight from the source at Tigers.com shop.
All right, bottom of the 7th now. Tigers down 6-3. It has been this way since the 3rd when Boston scored 6 times. And Curtis Granderson leads it off, then Brandon Inge and Ryan Rayburn. Randy 1 for 2 today. Talked about how he has really excelled in the 5 spot in the lineup. Hits this one in the air to center. Ellsbury backing up. 1 out. Word on Zach Minor is a right calf cramp. Day to day. Zach went 4 innings, gave up 4 hits, 1 earned run. Meanwhile, Wakefield just cruising along. Looked like the Tigers, who got to him early, might be putting up some big numbers against him. They scored 3 in that 2nd, but nothing since.
Only 75 pitches, too. And a lot of times you don't know what the knuckleball is going to do. You can go out there on occasion and that thing not find the strike zone at all. But the majority of Wakefield's pitches he's thrown today have found the strike zone.
The 0-1. Knuckler is rolled towards short. Lugo gobbles it up. 2 away.
You know, I know we talked about it last night, partner, but it's worth mentioning again since they got rained out in their ball game in Washington last night. Randy Johnson trying to become the 24th pitcher to win 300 games. Tremendous numbers, over 4,800 strikeouts, 5 Cy Young awards. And I don't think we're going to see another guy get to 300.
Ever? Do you think ever?
Well, you never say ever.
Yeah.
But looking at the list of guys that are there, in our lifetime, I don't see anybody getting there.
I agree with that. You and I and a lot of other folks may never see it.
I mean, you looked at Mike Mussina last night, who had, what, 270?
Yep.
And he retired after winning 20 games last year for the Yankees. But Jamie Moore of the Philadelphia Phillies just got his 250th win.
It's going to be really tough. Rayburn coming to second, and he'll pull in with a double. A 2-out, 2-base hit for Ryan Rayburn. Well, good luck to Randy Johnson.
Let's take a look at our Lincoln Mercury Exmo at the floater. Straight as a string. That's beautiful. That is perfect.
Didn't knuckle a whole lot, and here comes Francona. Rayburn getting the 2-base hit. Wakefield being met by his skipper, who takes the baseball. It's the first Tiger in scoring position since the second inning. And Wakefield is done.
That we get a chance to watch on a nightly basis.
Well, here's what I think what you make of it. Euclid, Boston market. Teixeira, New York market. Morneau, arguably in a very small market.
But a tremendous player. But right now, Cabby is fourth in the voting. Euclid is number one. But those numbers that Cabrera has put up since 2006 were, I think, almost better than just about everybody else's numbers.
True. And Cabrera got off to that red hot start this year and has been top 5 in hitting most of the season. But he's trailing Euclid, Teixeira, and Morneau. It'd be hard to imagine Cabrera not being on the team. May not start, but I'm sure he will go.
There's some talented first basemen in the American League.
Really are. So Justin Masterson is in now for the Boston Red Sox. Adam Everett batting. Masterson slings one home. It's in for a strike.
Masterson is the last one that we have seen out of Terry Francona's talented bullpen in this series. He has started some games as well this year. And that's why he has pitched 48 2/3 innings. He was in the rotation when the season began. But as they started to get healthy, they felt a need in their bullpen, and therefore Masterson now finds himself tossing out of the bullpen. They got a lot of back end guys that are pitching in middle relief. They don't really have middle relief guys.
No balls, 2 strikes on Adam Everett.
Masterson throwing from that low 3/4 arm slot, slinging that fastball up there anywhere from 90 to 93 with a sharp, big breaking ball.
Imposing, especially when it comes from a guy that stands 6'6", 250.
He's another product of their organization, another guy that they groomed in the minor leagues. They do a nice job.
Out of San Diego State, Justin Masterson. Wakefield threw 80 pitches today before departing. 6 2/3, 3 earned runs. The guy at second base, still his property, though. Swing and a miss. Everett is gone. Side retired. Nothing happens with a 2-out double. You're watching Tigers baseball today, presented by Bell Tire. Top 8 here at the ballpark. It is 6-3 Boston as they go for the sweep of the Tigers today. And the Tigers have a new pitcher now as we head to the 8th inning. Joel Zumaya is on.
Well, apparently Joel needs a little work. It's been a few days since he's been out there, and you want to keep the guys in your bullpen as sharp and fresh as possible. And hopefully he can keep the score right where it's at. Tigers still have a couple of shots at scoring some runs in this game, and stranger things have happened. They're only down by 3.
Mike Lowell, Rocco Baldelli, and Jacoby Ellsbury.
Well, they're going to see some serious gas, that's for sure. Easy gas at 98. 99, excuse me. I was wrong by a tick.
Lowell had an RBI back in the 3rd. He also has a single. Swing and miss. He's not going to catch that thing up there at 99. Wow.
But against a guy like Joel, you have to start early. And that's why you see so many guys at this level swinging at fastballs that are out of the strike zone. And there is not a whole lot of time to determine whether that fastball at that velocity is going to be a strike or a ball.
That one was a strike, and it's fouled back 1-2.
Therefore, you guess in a certain spot, you let it go, and if the ball's there, you make some contact. If not, oh well. But if you're trying to wait till you see the ball out of his hand and decide whether it's a strike or not, you got no chance.
Got in on his hands that time.
Now that last pitch was 101. Now if he comes back and throws that breaking ball that he's been throwing at about 82 miles an hour, you're talking about a 19 to 20 mile differential in speeds from the same arm slot. Most guys don't have a chance if the ball's located well.
Here it's coming. Two and two. Zumaya, Perry, and Minor out of the bullpen today for Dontrell Willis, who was knocked out of the game in the 3rd. Neither team has scored since then. Shattered his bat, and that's going to be a base hit.
Made the pitch he wanted to make, but he was rewarded with a knock. We're going to make that our Bell Tire pitch by pitch. First pitch at 99, and then he climbs the ladder with another 99-mile-per-hour fast before throwing the breaking ball. And finally, he fists him with a fastball, and he gets a base hit here. It's our Bell Tire pitch by pitch.
Rocco Baldelli, the batter. He singled in a run back in the 3rd. Baldelli getting the start out in right field today. That hit, by the way, is only the 5th of the afternoon for the Boston Red Sox. That's low, and the count goes to 1-1. Tigers have out-hit the Red Sox today, 8-5. Of course, Boston did a lot of their damage with all the base on balls.
Yep, 5 of them in the 3rd inning. That's what they'll do, though. If you don't throw them a strike, they won't swing.
Here's the 1-1. Breaking ball stays high. 2 balls, 1 strike. Final game in this series. The Angels coming to town beginning tomorrow to start a 3-game weekend set. Then it's on the road. The Tigers are facing a sweep unless they can get the bats going here. Runner goes and a big jump. And it's pounded in the air. Foul. Larish giving a look. And back out of play. They had Lowell moving there. The weekend matchups look like this.
Escobar's back.
Wow.
How about that?
They were a TBA, but apparently it's now Escobar.
Well, he'll be tested. He'll need to be on top of his game because we know Jackson has been, as well as Verlander and Porcello. Santana, he's only made a few starts off the DL. And then Saunders pitched a pretty good game against the Tigers out there.
All 3 of those games in HD. Stunning HD. The 2-2 is low. 3-2. So Zamaya having a little bit of trouble with his control here. See if Lowell is on the move from first base. Runner holds, and it's ball 4. And the Red Sox now have 2 men on with nobody out.
A lot of free passes today for the Boston Red Sox from Tigers pitching.
That would be a total of 7 according to my score sheet.
That's exactly what I have.
So now let's see what Ellsbury will do here. He was hit by a pitch. Otherwise 0 for 2. There's more action in the Tigers pen. Bobby C., the lefty, warming up. There's strike 1.
Of the 7 walks that Boston has received today, 4 of which have touched home plate. And they also had a batter that was hit touch home plate.
And that was Ellsbury back in the 3rd. Flared foul back out of play, 0-2. Well, the Red Sox are a team that leads the American League in on-base percentage. So when the walks pile up, no surprise there, although Dontrell had control issues early in the game. The 0-2. Little pop-up. Shallow left. Rayburn sliding. Can't get it. And it rolls by him, but they're going to hold Lowell at third base. The bases are loaded on the bloop single by Jacoby Ellsbury. Ryan almost got there.
It's a good effort by Rayburn, but may have been playing a little bit too deep to start against Ellsbury, who does not have a whole lot of power in that direction, and also hits the majority of his balls to left field as well. Lowell could not score from second base because he had to hold up to make sure the ball was not going to be caught, and therefore he's standing on third base right now.
Infield in, little chopper hit slowly back toward the mound. Zamaya comes home, and they get one there. Fielder's choice, allowing Lugo to reach. Bases stay loaded. Game stays 6-3. Looked like Joel short-armed that throw a little bit. He was a little off balance as he threw it home. Now with one out, here's the number 9 hitter, Kataris. Ball 1 from Zamaya. Kataris is 0 for 3. He grew up in Ontario. Didn't start playing baseball until he was 15.
That's late.
That's real late.
By then, you're usually scared of the baseball. For sure.
You don't know any better before that.
For sure.
He did play fast pitch softball, though, until he started playing some summer baseball. His high school team didn't have a baseball team. Born in Scarborough, Ontario.
How about that? And he's in the big league.
Yeah. That is really kind of amazing because that is really late.
Yeah, most kids start playing baseball at age 6. You're playing T-ball, then you got coach pitch, and you got little league. And some never make it out of little league. They get hit a couple times by that baseball when they're real young.
That's all it takes.
They shut her down.
There's a check swing, and it's a strike. He went around 2-2.
Speaking of Little League, you want to come with me to Independence Township on Saturday morning and throw out the first pitch with me?
I heard you were going there, and if my son wasn't playing in a game of his own, in a summer league game, I would go.
Because we're package deal, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you got the better arm.
No, you threw out first pitch here at Comerica Park. You didn't bounce it.
No, but it wasn't a strike either.
You don't want to come with me?
I got to go watch my son play.
Well, you can come with me, and then you can go watch your son play.
There's only so many hours in the day. There's strike 3.
I'm looking forward to that.
When is that now? That's this Saturday, right?
Yeah. Saturday.
Where?
Independence Township.
Nice.
I think Dan Dickerson's boy plays there.
Okay. Is Dan going to be able to go?
He said he was going to be there.
Good for him. It's good to see him back in the booth. So Zamaya trying to pitch out of this mess. And Rick Knapp's going to come out now. Bases stay loaded. We were talking about coach pitch. I used to hate coach pitch because I used to have to pitch to those little kids. And the first time I tried doing it, I drilled the first kid I threw to. Did you? I was so nervous. All the parents were looking. I just drilled him right in the hip. Didn't mean to.
And not only does Dan's son play out there, but another buddy of mine at WCSX, Jim O'Brien, his son also plays Little League ball out there too. He told me not to bounce it.
Oh, you won't bounce it.
It's Little League diamond. I might have a chance.
It's not 60 feet 6 inches. You'll be all right. Pedroia bends out of the way of a breaking ball, and there is strike 1. Single and a walk in this game for Dustin Pedroia. 6-3 Boston. It's going to take a 2-out hit, though, if they want to add to their lead here in the 8th.
He's a tough cookie, too. We've well documented the fact that this kid very seldom strikes out. And puts the ball in play.
He's behind 0-2.
He might strike out here, though. If Joel decides to throw a breaking ball, of course, if you're Sardina, you've got to block it. And with Baldelli being on third base, Boston's a fundamentally sound baseball team. And if he bounces it, Baldelli will try to score.
Bouncing ball hit to the right side, and that's going to be that for the Red Sox. Zamaya pitches out of the bases loaded jam. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Here is your Comerica game summary. Miguel Cabrera had to leave the game in the second inning with a bad hamstring. Jim Leland ejected in the third inning, and the Red Sox third framed the difference. They scored 6 big runs, and it has held up so far as the Tigers hit here in the bottom of the 8th, and Gerald Laird is pinch hitting for Dean Sardina. Laird, then Thomas, then Santiago, facing Justin Masterson. He came on to get the final out of the 7th inning.
This is one of the best bullpens we've seen so far this year. And when you start talking about the arms that Terry Francona has run at us in the 3 days that we've seen this Boston Red Sox team, they stack up favorably with any other team I've seen in the American League. Look at that stuff right there. 92 from that arm slot on the outside black. You can't do a whole lot with that pitch. But they got this kid Masterson, they got Ramirez, obviously they got Papelbon, Okajima, Saito, and Del Carmen.
Loaded. Here's Okajima and Del Carmen. If needed. 1-2 on Laird.
That's why a lot of people are wondering what Jim Leland's going to do when Bonderman comes back and Bonderman's ready to pitch. You can't have enough pitching.
Nope. No, you really can't.
Take every bit you can get, and you maneuver that as a manager. You'll take it all.
Two balls, 2 strikes on Laird. Got him. Strike 3. Couple of strikeouts now for Masterson, and there's one away, and here's that upcoming calendar for the month of June.
Tigers don't have a day off until when? The 15th before St. Louis?
Looks like
a lot of games in a row.
A big road trip coming up. Interleague play is right around the corner again. Second round. It's going to be it for Masterson, and he will leave with Thomas due up. They'll go to the bullpen. We'll step aside. Pitching change here at Comerica. For Boston,
he's got some outstanding numbers. 2-0 is a record. Earned run average is under 2.5. More than 1 strikeout per inning. And the league is hitting 171 against him. Not a hard thrower. He's one of those guys that obviously hides the ball very well, and there's some deception there because he tops out right around an 88 miles an hour.
Lee Thomas facing him. Okajima pitching for the Red Sox the last 2 years, coming over from Japan. He pitched there from '95 through 2006. Big swing there by Cleat Thomas. 1-1. Okajima once recorded 25 saves in a season in Japan. That was his high water mark.
The guy we saw last night, Saito, also was a closer in Japan, wasn't he?
He sure was. And with the Dodgers. On the outside corner, strike 2. Cleat today is 0 for 3. Hit into a double play back in the 5th. One-two pitch. And Thomas is dusted off. 2 gone. Last 3 Tigers have gone down on strikes. He's going to bring up Santiago. Polanco got the day off today. Santiago playing second base. And he takes ball 1. Ground ball foul just outside of the bag. Tigers got 3 in the second. They haven't scored since. Looked like it might be one of those big offensive days, as we talked about at the top of the show. They're trying to find some consistency offensively. Inge had a big 2-run double early.
Well, on most games where you take a 3-0 lead early, you win those games. And the team that scores first in the major leagues usually wins 60 to 65% of those contests.
Well, Boston came right back and scored 3 in the top of the 3rd, and the score has remained the same. Lloyd McClendon had to take over the reins of the team when Jim Leland was ejected earlier today. Fouled back out of play. 1-2 on Santiago. Tigers have had at least 1 hit in every inning but the first. A couple of double play balls, though, have hurt their chances. Bouncing ball to short. Scooped nicely by Lugo, and he's safe at first base. Santiago beat it out. Base hit. He's going to keep the inning going now for Maglio Ordonez.
Lugo did just about everything that he could do on this particular play. Exmo's nice. Right off the end of the bat, Santiago kind of running out of the batter's box as he's taking that swing, so his momentum is already carrying him down the first baseline. And because that momentum was carrying him down the line, allowed him to beat that throw by an eyelash.
Ordonez hits it right back to the mound. And that is that for the Tigers. So in the 8th, no runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Let's go to the 9th. 6-3 Boston. To speed with the AT&T Rapid Rewind. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered.
Hey, Tigers fans, turn 2 with your wallet and save up to $29. The June double play gets you 2 upper box tickets for select games for only $39 or 2 lower box seats for only $49. Call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com.
Well, the Tigers have some work to do, and they're running out of time as we go to the 9th inning. It is a 6-3 game, and Mr. Rodney is into the ball game now for the Tigers.
A pretty good year so far for Fernando. 10 of 10 in save opportunities. Earned run average is at 3. Not bad. Strikes to walkout ratio. Excuse me. Strikeouts to walk ratio. How about that? Strike to walkout ratio.
I thought you invented a new stat.
I may as well.
The walkout. Well, here's J.D. Drew.
That's a dance, you know. Walk it out.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. It's a dance.
You know how to do it?
No, my kids do, though.
No.
Walk it out.
You can see we got a camera up here. You can show us.
I don't know how to do it. The young people do, though.
J.D. Drew drew a bases loaded walk in the 4th, driving a run. Actually, back in the 3rd, it was the 6-run 3rd. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the 1-1. Fernando Rodney follows Zumaya, who followed Perry. Minor threw in this ball game as well before he had to leave with a calf problem, a little cramp in his calf. Cabrera left with a pulled hamstring. 3-1. Red Sox are headed back home to take on the Texas Rangers. Tigers, of course, have the Angels coming in. 3-2 on J.D. Drew. Activity in the Boston bullpen. That would be Mr. Papelbon. Even glares in when he's warming up.
Getting in that frame of mind, that zone. He struggled the last time we saw him. Gave up 3 straight hits, and then he got busy striking out the side. That was on Tuesday night.
Three and 2. 35 pitches for Papelbon. And he lost it.
Ooh, we've had way too many of those today.
Yes, we have. That is 9 Tigers walks now.
Rick Knapp going to run out of ink down there.
J.D. Drew has walked 4 times.
Really?
Will help the old on base percentage. Here's Marcotte. Grounded foul. Tigers 9 hits, the Red Sox 6 hits. Kotze came in for Euclid. Euclid left with a tight right calf. Kasse had to take over. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1-2. Kasse began his career with Florida. We've talked about that. He also played in San Diego and Oakland. A little bit of time with Atlanta last year, and then he joined Boston.
He's had a couple of different back surgeries. And obviously he has to do a lot of maintenance work when he gets to the ballpark every day just to make sure that his core is staying strong. Stomach, muscles, and lower back.
Three and two. Fernando climbs back on top of the slab. He has walked Drew here to start the inning. And the runner goes in the air, center field. Granderson moving over. 1 out. And back to first base goes Drew. We'll bring up Jason Bay when the Tigers hit in the bottom of the 9th. Larish, Granderson, and Inge scheduled to bat. Bay is 1 for 4, had a 2-run double in the 3rd. He had 53 RBIs now for Jason Bay. What a tremendous first half he has had. Longoria with 55 RBIs was leading the American League. Bay is right on his heels now. Bay cuts and misses. 0-1. Jason Bay played his college ball at Gonzaga, which more recently has been known for its basketball team. There's another strike. 0-2. A couple of other guys that have played in the big leagues that have gone to Gonzaga. Len Sakata, infielder for the Orioles. Rick Sweet.
Rick Sweet.
Sweet used to catch over in the National League for Houston, I believe. No, he caught in the American League with Seattle.
Yes. That's where I know him from.
Yeah.
He also managed, I believe, in Seattle's minor league system for a while.
And Houston's organization. And the Tigers organization. 1-2 on Bay. Two and 2 on Bay. This was a day that looked like we might have a lot of fireworks. 9 runs were scored before the 3rd inning was done, but neither team has been able to score after the 3rd. Swing and a miss. So Rodney takes care of Bay. 2 gone. Now what else is going on?
Well, Minnesota's beating Cleveland. If these 2 scores hold up, the Tigers lose in many wins. They will cut the Tigers' lead to 2.5. Kansas City doesn't play until a little later on tonight, but they've been scuffling. They've lost 6 straight. Those are the standings as we speak.
Mike Lowell now with 2 outs.
White Sox are losing again today.
They are.
To Oakland. Oakland's kind of got their number. Oakland plays good against them. Burley started today for the White Sox too.
Chicago at 25-27 coming in today. 2 under. And losing again.
Tigers are still the only team in the division over 500.
The 2-0. 3 balls and no strikes.
Cleveland got some more bad news too. Grady Sizemore is on the disabled list, but their talented second baseman or shortstop, or wherever he's playing these days, your favorite guy, Asdrubal Cabrera.
Why is he my favorite guy?
Well, you like saying his name.
Oh, okay.
He dislocated a left shoulder, I believe it was, last night in the ball game on slide.
Yeah, that's not good.
So they're falling like flies in Cleveland. Say his name for me.
Asdrubal Cabrera. Well, they've got DeRosa. He can play all over the place. Johnny Peralta was playing some third. He can play short. 3-2 on Lowell.
Rumor has it Chicago Cubs are trying to get DeRosa back. They traded him to Cleveland in the offseason for prospects. But rumor has it he's a missing piece for Lou Piniella. They want him back.
It's going to cost him.
Yep.
Runner going on 3-2, and it's popped up. Laird gives way to Larish, and that is it for the Red Sox. We go to the bottom of the 9th. It'll be Larish, Granderson, and Inge. Weekly at 11:30 this week, hosted by a new member of the Tigers grounds crew, our own Mickey York. Red Wings Weekly, Tigers Weekly, Saturday morning on Fox Sports Detroit. Here is Jonathan Papelbon now. He will take over, trying to protect a 3-run lead in the 9th inning.
Well, one of the elite closers in the game of baseball. He's imposing. He's got mound presence. And most of all, he's got talent.
And Papelbon will be trying to navigate through Larish, Granderson, and Inge as we play here in the bottom of the 9th. Tigers are 3 outs away from being swept by the Red Sox here in Detroit for the first time since 1996. But the Rally Caps have different thoughts. Alrighty, there's a Rally Cap. So we go to the bottom of the 9th. And now Larish will lead it off. Larish 0 for 2.
Larish pinch hit a couple of nights ago against Papelbon with the bases loaded. And Papelbon struck him out on a fastball that was up.
Here's the 1-0.
Papelbon pitched on Tuesday, gave up 3 consecutive singles, and then went on to strike out the side. Anderson, Larish, and Santiago, and needed 35 pitches to do so.
Tigers have put up 9 hits today, but have managed only 3 runs, all in 1 inning. Swing and a miss. 2-2 on Larish. Granderson to follow, then Brandon Inge. Off the inside part of the plate, 3-2. Papelbon hails from Baton Rouge, lives in Jacksonville, Florida. 3-2 pitch. He lost him, ball 4, and the Tigers get the leadoff man on. Last 2 nights, the Red Sox have had trouble closing the games out. They eventually have, or they eventually did, but not before the Tigers, as you mentioned, loaded the bases in the first game, and last night they loaded the bases again in the 9th inning. Here's Granderson. Ball 1. Curtis today with a single and a run scored, 1 for 3, extending his hitting streak to 8 straight with that base hit back in the 2nd. And it's 2-0.
Papelbon must not be feeling all that confident these days, because he's usually a guy that we've watched for the last 3 years. He comes in breathing fire, throwing strike after strike after strike, but apparently he's not quite right, trying to figure out some things.
There's a strike call, 2-1. That is hit back up the middle, diving stop by Pedroia, flips to second 1. That's all they're going to get, but he took a hit away from Granderson. What a sparkling play at second by Pedroia.
That boy's bad, with a capital B. B-A-D-D kind of bad. Take a look at this. 1 step and a dive. He grabs the ball up that high. He flips to Lugo. They're not going to get Granderson for 2. But what a huge play by Pedroia. We've been talking about him for 3 straight days, and rightfully so. He is one of the, if not the best second baseman in, it's hard to say it, but he might in baseball.
He might be. Gold Glover.
MVP.
Here's Brandon Inge. That ball gets through. How different is the feel to this inning, especially with what the Red Sox have gone through in the 9th inning the last 2 nights? But a diving play saved a base hit.
Talking about Pedroia yesterday on Tigers Live, and just talking about the fact that he just plays the game full speed all the time. He never takes a play off. whether it be on the offensive side or on the defensive side. Makes all kinds of plays.
And it's going to catch the catcher. Gutierrez bit him a little bit. 0-2 on Inge. 6-3 Boston leading, trying to hold on here and get the split, or get the sweep I should say, of the Tigers before going back home to take on Texas. Angels coming in here next tomorrow night. 0-2 on Brandon.
Do you remember Papelbon working this slow?
No. And I was about to say the same thing. I mean, he has been very deliberate. It used to be get the baseball, get the sign, and just overpower people. But he has been slow in this series. Well, slower at least. Very deliberate. Little looper in left. He hung one, and Inge with a base hit, and the Tigers have 2 aboard. They're going to bring the tying run to the plate. They're going to bring Farrell out of their dugout. Papelbon just does not seem the same.
Low breaking ball that just does nothing. I mean, that thing was just spinning.
Ten Tigers hits. And now Rayburn. Terry Francona's going through that whole bucket of gum down there. Tigers still alive. They're breathing here in the 9th, down by 3. Rayburn is 1 for 3. Had a double in his last at bat. Foul tipped at 0-1. Papelbon saved 35 as a rookie a couple of years ago in 06, which was the 3rd highest total for a rookie behind Kazuhiro Sasaki of Seattle and Todd Worrell of St. Louis. There's Polanco waiting on deck. He's going to pinch hit. And Papelbon ready with the 0-1. One ball, one strike. Almost it seems as if Papelbon is aiming it a little bit here in the 9th inning.
He doesn't look like the Papelbon that we've watched for the last 3 years.
Here's the 1-1. Popped him up. Foul ground, first base side. Katse calling off the catcher, and he'll make the play. Big out, 2 away.
This is a nice job by Katse. He's a center fielder by trade, but he recognized very early that Gutierrez, the catcher, was having a tough time with this ball battling the sun. Take a look at Gutierrez. You can tell he's a little uncertain. And all of a sudden, here comes Katse to bail him out. That's a good play by Katse.
I don't think Gutierrez would have gotten to that ball. He looked all out of sorts.
He did not. He didn't look comfortable. He had the glove up. He was trying to block the sun. That and the fact that he had to come from the crouch position, take off the mask, and then find the baseball. And when he found it, he was looking directly in the sun.
So here's Polanco to try and keep it going for Detroit. 6-3 with 2 outs in the 9th. Placido pinch hitting for Adam Everett. Ball 1. Inning started with a walk to Larish. Granderson had a base hit taken away and a great diving play at second by Pedroia. Ainge with a base hit, but now Rayburn with a pop up, 2 gone. And that play by Pedroia looking bigger and bigger. Shot foul down the right field line. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tigers just have not been able to take advantage of their hits. 10 hits today. And they've had 1 in every inning but the first. Here's the 1-1. Strike called, and Polanco 1 and 2, and Placido has a look back for Jeff Nelson. Looked pretty good. Ground ball hit to short. Lugo surrounds it. He'll go to second for the force. And the Red Sox will sweep the Tigers in this 3-game series. And again, a lot of opportunities in this one, Rod, but Boston comes out on top.
They had too many free passes for Boston. Tigers took a 3-0 lead very early in this game.